Hello students, today we are going to start new chapter Reproduction in Flowering Plants. Reproduction in Flowering Plants. As we know that reproduction is a vital process in which any organism can't survive for long without reproduction. Means reproduction is a vital process in which any organism can't survive for long without it. So, in flowering plants, the reproduction can be take place by the sexual mode. So, as you have to write, reproduction is the vital process in which the organism can't survive for a long. मीन्स विदाउट रिप्रोडक्शन एक ऑर्गेनिज्म लॉन्ग टाइम तक अपने आप को सर्वाइव नहीं कर, बिकॉज रिप्रोडक्शन इज द कंटिन्यूटी, रिप्रोडक्शन मेंटेन द कंटिन्यूटी ऑफ लाइफ. सो इन फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स द सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन कैन टेक प्लेस. Flowers are the object of aesthetic, religious, social ornament. Flowers जो होते हैं लोगों से, धार्मिक आस्थाओं से, पॉलिटिकल इशू से एंड एज वेल एज ऑर्नामेंटल, ये ऑब्जेक्ट हैं. ए फ्लावर कंसिस्ट फोर वॉल. ए फ्लावर कंसिस्ट फोर parts of flower. Or you can say that how many whorls of a flower? Whorl. There are 4 whorls of a flower. There are 4 parts of a flower. Calyx, corolla, androecium or gynoecium. These are the 4 whorl or 4 parts of a flower. Calyx is also known as sepal, corolla petals, androecium stamen, and gynoecium is also known as carpel or pistil. There are 4 whorl of a flower. Out of 4, 2 whorls are accessory part. Accessory whorls, एक फ्लावर के 4 whorls 4 पार्ट होते हैं, जिनमें से 2 पार्ट एक्सेसरी और 2 पार्ट उसके रिप्रोडक्टिव होते हैं. एक्सेसरी पार्ट calyx and corolla both are the accessory part, and the part which take place in the reproduction, those are called reproductive part. And those reproductive parts are androecium, the male part, stamen, carpel or pistil or gynoecium, that is the female part. This one is male part and this one is female part. Clear? Calyx, it is the basal green part of the flower. फूल के नीचे जो ग्रीन कलर का पोर्शन होता है, सपोज दिस इज द फ्लावर्स whorl. There are the four parts of a flower. The basal green portion is known as sepal. It is the basal green part of flower. It is sterile part. It is sterile because it doesn't participate in the reproduction. So it is sterile. The next one is corolla. A flower consists colorful leaves. अब फ्लावर की जो कलरफुल लीव्स हैं, इन लीव्स को क्या बोलते हैं? कोरोला, और यू कैन से दैट petals. It is the colorful leaf or leaves. You can see that colorful leaves in a flower are known as corolla or petals. These are also striped because it doesn't take part in the reproduction. Corolla, the colorful leaves of flower only attract the insect during the pollination. The third one is stamen. Stamen is the male part of flower. It is the male part of a flower. एक फ्लावर का जो मेल पार्ट होता है दैट इज कॉल्ड स्टेमन. एंड नेक्स्ट वन इज कार्पेल और पिस्टिल. दिस पार्ट टेक प्लेस इन द रिप्रोडक्टिव, सो इट इज फर्टाइल. It is fertile. Stamen is fertile. Carpel or pistil or gynoecium. It is the female part of a flower. This part also take part in the reproduction. So this is, it is the fertile part. So there are two sterile, which are the accessory part of flower, and two are fertile, which take place in the reproduction. Those are called reproductive part of flower. Clear? Now we will discuss on next one is stamen, pollen grain and microsporogenesis. स्टेमन के पार्ट में क्या लेंगे? एंथर, pollen grains and microsporogenesis. Stamen, as we have discussed, stamen is the male part of flower. It is the male part of a flower. A stamen consists two parts. It consists two parts. Which one? These are the stamens. Both are stamen, male part. And a stamen consists two parts. One is bilobed structure. This is called anther. One part of stamen is anther. The other one is a slender stalk. This is called filament. So we can say that there are two parts of anther. It consists two parts. Anther, first one, and second one is filament. Filament. It is a slender stalk, soft stalk, slender stalk, एक लंबी पतली डंडी, मुलायम डंडी कह सकते हैं, stalk which connect to the, ये फ्लावर को यानी एंथर को सीधी सी बात कह सकते हैं, स्टेमन को अटैच करती है प्रॉक्सिमल एंड फिलामेंट का, इससे पेरियन से कनेक्ट टू द पेरियन. कौन सा एंड इसका? प्रॉक्सिमल एंड. द प्रॉक्सिमल एंड ऑफ द slender stalk which attached to the perianth, that is called filament. Anther. What is anther? Anther is a bilobed structure. It is a bilobed structure. Means it contains two lobes. The anther consists two lobes. One lobe and this one is second. Bilobed structure means it consists two lobes. Each lobe contains two pollen sac. हर लोब के अंदर एक लोब लेफ्ट एक राइट. Each lobe contains two pollen sac. Pollen sac means the space in which pollen grain is present. Pollen sac in which pollen grains present. Before maturation, pollen grain remains in the pollen sac, but after maturity, due to the dehydration means अंदर का जो सब्सटेंस है pollen sac के अंदर का जो लिक्विड फ्लूइड है वो सारा का सारा डिहाइड्रेट सूख जाता है. Then pollen grain mature and they dissect. Dissect means ब्रस्ट कर देते हैं. वो लाइनिंग जहाँ से pollen sac एंथर को ब्रस्ट किया जाता है pollen mature pollen grain की तरह, that line is called line of dehiscence. We will discuss later. First one, each lobe contains two pollen sacs in which pollen grains present. Both the lobes are connect with a deep groove. Each lobe consists with a deep groove. This is the first lobe, this one is the second lobe. Each lobe consists two pollen sac. First lobe, second lobe. So there are two pollen sac. Both the lobes, this one is the right, left, both lobes are connected attached with special tissue called connective. Deep groove, that is called connective. Clear? Next, we have seen that there are each lobe consists two pollen sac. So there are tetrasporogynate, means tetrad structure, four pollen sac present. So it forms the tetrad sporogynate. As the each lobe contains two pollen sac. So it forms a tetrasporogynate. You can say that tetrad structure. Clear? Each lobe consists two pollen sac that form the tetrasporogynate, or you can say that tetrad structure. Both the lobes are attached with each other with a special that is called deep groove, that is called connective. Clear? Next one is line of dehiscence. After gaining the maturity, pollen grain burst the lobe with the line. जिस लाइन से जहाँ से pollen grain mature होने के बाद lobe को burst करते हैं, that line is called line of dehiscence. After gaining the maturity, the pollen grains, gaining maturity means pollen grain जब डिहाइड्रेटेड हो जाता है, अंदर का जो pollen sac है डिहाइड्रेट हो जाएगा. डिहाइड्रेटेड burst the lobe. जिस लाइन के लोब में लाइनिंग के द्वारा उसको क्या करते हैं, ब्रश कर देते हैं. उस लाइन को जहाँ से लोब ब्रश होती है, that is called line of dehiscence. Brush the lobe, that is called line of dehiscence. Clear? First we discuss on stamen. A stamen consists two parts. Is the male part. One is filament. The second one is anther. Filament, it is a slender stalk. It's proximal and attached to with the perianth, with the plant. And the anther is a bilobed structure in which two lobes are contained. Both the lobes are connected with a deep groove that is called connective. Each lobe consists two pollen sac in which pollen grain present. So it is called tetrasporonginate, or you can say that tetrad structure. Clear? Then line of dehiscence, after gaining the maturity, when the pollen sacs fully dehydrated, then the dehydrated pollen grains brush the pollen, brush the lobe, और lobe को जो brush करते हैं, that line from the mature pollen grain brush the lobe, that line is called the line of dehiscence. Then the structure of microsporangium. Structure of microsporangium. As we discuss about the microsporangium, means the pollen sac in which the diploid microspore mother cell present, that consists, microsporangium means the structure किस way से होता है? Its structure is tetrad structure, as we have discussed. It contains two lobes. And tetrad structure or microsporangium covered with four protective layers. This one like structure. The outermost layer is known as epidermis layer, or you can also say that exothecium. Second layer is known as endothecium. The next one is each lobe, one lobe, and that is the second lobe. Each lobe consists two pollen sac. This is the pollen sac. Tetrad structure. The third layer, this contains the third layer, which is called middle layer. And fourth layer, which is present just outside the pollen sac. This one is pollen sac. This layer is called tapetum. So you can say that in microsporangium there are four layers covered. There are four layers of a microsporangium. First one, epidermal layer, or you can say that exothecium layer. The outermost layer of microsporangium is called exothecium or epidermal layer. This layer protects the microspore from external environment. The second layer, which is made up of alpha cellulosic fibers. The second layer of microsporangium, which is made up of alpha cellulosic fibers. These alpha cellulose fibers are not present in aquatic plant, hydrophytes. उसमें नहीं होता, बाकी सभी में present होता. This is the second layer. And the third layer, which is known as middle layer. In middle layer, 1, 2, 3 layers of, as we see this microsporangium in the microscope, we can see that there are 3 to 4 layers, 1 to 3 layers of loose connective or smooth cells are made up of middle layer. The third one layer, which is made up of 1 to 3 layers of cell. Cell की मतलब suppose this is the first layer, epidermis, then the next one is endothecium, then one layer, second layer, third layer, 1 to 3 layers of cell. This makes the middle layer. And the last innermost layer is known as tapetum. Very important role of tapetum. Tapetum provides the nutrition because this layer present in the pollen sac, and in pollen sac there are many immature pollen grains. These pollen grains take the nutrition from the innermost layer that is called tapetum. What is tapetum? It is the innermost layer of microsporangium. This layer provides the nutrition to the developing pollen grains. Clear? This is the part about which we have discussed about whorl of flower and what is stamen, anther and stamen. In next part we will discuss on pollen grain and microsporangium.